All right, today I'm taking a look at the new FOXWELL NT726. So there's three models in the 700 series. There's the 706, which is the 4-system diagnostic. Essentially, you plug it in, it'll tell you what's wrong with the car. Then there's the 716, which does all that, plus it has the 6-service reset. And then the 726 is the highest of the 700 series. That does all that, plus it does the 8 special functions. So let's take a look at it. So we got some instructions. We got a full user manual. Got a USB-A to USB-C cable, and then we got the plug that goes into the OBD2 port. That is nice looking. All right, so on top we got a USB-C, we got a USB-A, we got the port for the OBD2, we got power, and that's really all there is to it. So this is fairly light for a tablet. It does have these nice rubberized grips on the side, so that's really nice. Let's go ahead and turn it on, see if we got actually kind of a charge on here. All right, a little disclaimer. Please create your account. All right, so we're gonna have to make an account. I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so I got it registered. As soon as I hit register, it gave me this screen. So the first thing I want to do is check for updates. So we got 81 software updates. And that is awesome. That's one of the things I really like about FOXWELL is that they really work to keep everything updated. And that's really important because as new cars come out, as they get different software, different technology inside of them, you need to keep this thing updated to work with the new cars. So I love FOXWELL for that. And plus they have an upgrade all button, so I'm just gonna do that. And this will probably take a while. All right, we are upgraded. Let's just check it again to make sure. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, cool. So we're set. Okay, so if we take any pictures or we got any PDFs or anything on here, we can use this to check it all out. Remote control. Okay, so this uses TeamViewer. So with this, I could connect this to my car, and then if I know a guy, even while he's at his house, he could actually remotely control this thing and take a look at my car and tell me what's happening. So that's really cool. And in the settings, this is where we can check for, so we got automatic update, we can turn that on or off. System settings. Units is important because if we got this, here we go, metric and imperial, I'm going to put that imperial because I want to know miles, I don't want to know kilometers. But you can change everything in here. Font size if it's too small. So we got diagnostic here, and we got maintenance here. So diagnostic is where we're going to find, anytime the car is throwing a code, we'll be able to go here and find out exactly what it is. So America, Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, GM, Jeep. So pretty simple. America doesn't have a lot of brands. Asia, on the other hand, has a ton. Europe. And China. And then maintenance. So this is what the special functions are that this can do that the other models of the 700 series cannot do. So we got ABS service, so that's for the brakes. DPF regeneration, so if you've got a diesel, you can clean that out. EPS can work on the injectors. For new cars, they put on an oil light. Anytime you need to change the oil, you can reset that here. Airbags, tire pressure, and throttle position sensor. And this is probably one of the more important ones that I've had to deal with. If you've ever dealt with somebody that cleaned out their throttle, but now it's idling really, really high, you can use this to reset that throttle and get your car back to normal. He was actually worried he was going to have to buy a new throttle, but turned out all you had to do is reset it. Okay, so really cool to have that. So we got smart VIN. It will automatically check the car and plug in the VIN information. So you have to plug in the Dodge 2.5 liter turbo, all the things. It will actually just check it for you. So that's really cool. So let's go ahead and plug this into a car. Do a quick scan. All right, so this found, wow, that actually found it real quick. So like the other ones I'm used to, it actually takes them a while to scan everything, but this just found everything. So you got instrument cluster fault, which is one of the lights on the instrument cluster that it's not working. Generic electronic module, and then the restraint control module. That is for a wreck that happened a long time ago. Read the codes. Reading a problem with the safety belt driver retractor circuit. So this is the light and the instrument cluster. We have a crash detected, so that's when a tire came off a truck and hit my car, but I cannot reset that with any other one. So let's go ahead and see if we can, those clear codes. We're going to set this to on, so not running, but just on. Code's cleared. Okay, so it cleared all the ones that it could clear. Some of these, it's just going to reread it because obviously that light still doesn't work. But yeah, it cleared the crashes, so that's really cool. That's something that other OBD2 readers can't do. Module programming. So we can turn on or off automatic locking with relock. Auto lock GEM, auto locking while the vehicle is moving. So this one is enabled, so as soon as I start driving, it will automatically lock the doors. If I want to, I could disable that here. Single door unlocking using the remote. So this is different things that I can program in the car that you definitely can't do with other OBD2 readers. Okay, so one of the things I'm noticing is I have to select the ones that I want. It's not just going to show me. Now I can go through here and select all the ones that I want to look at, or I can just hit select all. I'm going to do that. Okay. But here we can see everything in its current value. So the car is running. The value of the torque converter, it's at 37 revolutions per minute. Actual turbine shaft speed, 764. So this is also updating very quickly. I've seen other ones where it only updates every like 2 seconds. This seems to be updating a few times a second, so that's really good. So the air conditioning clutch allowed, air conditioning clutch is on. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And it turned off, so this is reading the air conditioning. So that's probably making a lot of noise, huh? Brake off, turn it on. Brake is on. It's reading the voltage of the battery right now. Yeah, that's updating super quick, so that's awesome. One other thing I can definitely say about this particular tool is that it goes real quick. Like I've seen ones where you have to like wait. You click on something, you have to wait. This thing is just quick. So it's telling you the cylinder head temperature, 172 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's cool. It's actually in Fahrenheit. So if I left this on metric, it would probably be in Celsius. 4,000 miles since the last trouble code's cleared. So it actually stores how long ago you cleared the code. So if you need to take your car in to get smogged, there has to be a certain number of miles on it after you cleared the codes before we'll accept it. So this can tell you how long ago that was. That's really good. Engine revolutions per minute, and that's really good because even though I don't have a tachometer on this car, I can use this. You can see I got 2,000 revolutions per minute. So if I have to do some kind of a test that requires 2,000, I can't see it, but with this tool I can see it. Fuel level, so I'm at 35%. Fuel rail pressure desired, so this wants the fuel rail to be at 80, and it's currently at 80. So this is telling you where it should be, this is telling you where it's at, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how fast this thing's updating. Fuel pump is currently running at 22%. Oh, that's cool. It's actually telling you the spark advance throttle position. So let's see if so I'll tell you the new throttle position. That's really cool. Transmission fluid temperature. This is really important because a lot of transmissions right now are sealed. If you want to add fluid to the transmission, you actually have to know the temperature before you can do it because it expands and contracts. So there's a chart you can look at that'll say if it's at this temperature, fill it to this level. So you throw the dipstick in there, you read it, and then you can fill it up. But you have to know the temperature, and you can do that with one of those infrared guns. But there's a lot of variables in that. This will actually tell you what the temperature is from the sensor in the car. So that's awesome. I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here, and that's what I love about this thing. There's just all kinds of ways that you can find feedback to find out, is if my clutch is supposed to be on, for example, if this switch isn't working. So I could read that information on here. There's a lot of diagnostic stuff on here that just makes your life so much easier if you're going to be working on your own car. But yeah, I mean, so this is mostly for a new car. If you've got a new car and you've got to, bleed the brakes on it, you need to have a tool like this. The thing that makes this even better than the Pro tools is the fact that it has lifetime updates. If you go to the higher end models, like the Pro versions of this, you actually have to pay a subscription either every once a year or every 3 years in order to keep this thing updated. Because this is the consumer version. You buy it once and then you can update it with all the new cars. If you 3 years down the road you buy a new car, you can still use the same tool. You don't have to pay any more money. So that's where you just get a ton of value by using this tool, because you can just keep on upgrading and upgrading and upgrading as long as you own it. So awesome tool.